What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, Jonathan, welcome to our kill meeting.
Everybody say sorry, Jonathan.
Yo, I hope you can see that. I hope you can read lips too, because oh my gosh. I'm gonna put it back on mute now for this. All right, we're unmuted now. Jonathan, you actually want to listen to this part. All right, PDI Thursday or starts on Friday next. Okay, you all two and Jonathan. Okay, I already talked about mini team captains. You all should be available-ish to help out a little bit, but mainly just focusing on your mini team. Like your objective is make sure their demos get closed out. So if you don't see someone else stepping up, call and text your mini team. Make sure that they're getting help from their demos throughout the weekend and stuff. Max, you all right? Shaking your head over there. All right. All right. So Adrian and Danny, okay? In general, Jonathan can't take any PDI calls Friday night to Saturday afternoon, okay? That means Friday night to Saturday afternoon is YouTube, okay? You all are a team. That is, by the way, hands down the most important PDI time of like the entire week, right? And you guys don't have to be in the office on Saturday, but realistically, like Saturday is gonna be like a work day for both of y'all. Like you can go around and do things, but like you have to be available on Saturday to be able to do these calls and outgoing. Okay. Now here's the deal. Okay, you can schedule it in a little bit of different ways, but someone's got to be on top of it. So let me give you an example. I'm not telling you literally can't have a life outside of Friday or Saturday. But number one, if you go out and do something with friends, it needs to be like after 10:30, 11 o'clock, right? Or if you're there, like it needs to be like your priority is this, and maybe there's some people at your house or like that, but you're like taking PDI actively, okay? You can't be like at a party at 8 p.m. on a Friday night after we just launched 20 people from training, okay? Like I'm just clarifying. What the hell? Yo, be careful. Put a hole in my wall. Okay. All right. So if you, what was that here? All right, we're starting to get a little bit distracted, and we gotta stay on the course of the schedule because I don't want us to start the office cleaning day at like 3 o'clock. They're probably hanging something up on the walls. Okay, guys. We're about to be doing that all day. So where was I just now? Okay, so Friday and Saturday again, same thing, Saturday morning up until Saturday evening, okay? Now, Jonathan, I'm going to have him primarily on top of it Saturday evenings. So, Jonathan, you're primarily on top of it Saturday evenings to Sunday morning. Cool, so that way you all have a little bit of you don't have, so annoying. You have a little bit of a break, okay? So you don't have to worry about it as much Sunday mornings and Saturday evenings. But y'all's focus should be mostly like Friday night and Saturday night. Primarily, like Danny, you're the Dom. You're the person 100% most in charge, but Adrian, you should be supporting most during then. Same thing, Jonathan's going to be mostly in charge then, and you can be supported, but Friday and Saturdays on YouTube. If you ever have something, by the way, okay, occasionally that doesn't mean like you can never do anything Fridays or Saturdays all summer long. For the most part, you are kind of working on those days remotely, right? But if you have something going on a certain specific day or some time, y'all can work it out between the two, but it's your responsibility out of the way. Right, you can't both just be like, oh, like no one took the call. It's like, hey, I'm in a movie, like, oh, so am I, like, shit, you know. Like, so if you want to do something, right, like, reach out and communicate with each other and be like, okay, hey, like, I want to, like, you might have something to the summer where it's like, hey, I have like a best friend's like birthday thing that's like, you know, a dinner that's starting at 9 o'clock, and I don't want to like step away like every 5 minutes and take away calls like one time in the summer. Like, can you lock it down for these 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll do that. And you guys can organize that, but it needs to be taking place. You can't just both be like texting the group like, yo, I can't grab calls for a few hours. Yeah. Like, can anyone else help out and like do it last minute?
Wait, can we get somebody else on Friday, Saturday PDI? Just like help us out a little bit. Just because like God will do
I think we're gonna just start it. I don't want too many cooks in the kitchen with this too, because what I found is the more people we add to the PDI line, the worse it gets. Okay. Because it's just like the responsibility gets diffused out and delegated, and less people do this. The Troy Ketchum has like 8 assistant managers, and last year he only had 2 people on the PI line all summer, plus like a third one that was like a backup. So it was really just his Dom and his PSM were the only people that took PDI. Everyone else had mini team captains too. Now again, there is a backup line of support. So let me give this as an example. By the way, at certain points, y'all are gonna be like blown up with calls on Friday and Saturday mornings. Like the phone's gonna be ringing, and like you're calling and talking to someone, and you have like 2 other people call you. Okay, so that's when like you both need to be on like ready to roll and available. But if they call you and they don't get a handle, like talk to the best people. Y'all should be coaching like talking to the best people. And if it's like someone that's like urgent, if they don't call you, we're gonna be teaching the reps to call one of you all. That's the other thing too, is like, again, you don't need to be like, doesn't mean you can't do anything throughout the weekend. Just try to make sure you're available and taking, like when your team calls you, like be available to like help them out. Because if they're calling you, it's probably urgent. They're in a demo, trying to close a sale or something like that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know personally when I started, I straight up didn't even call the PDI line. I called like Eddie, like the person who like made the biggest impact on me. So I feel like a lot of reps would just straight up like call whoever they're meeting.
They will at a certain point, and again, eventually, once you build up a relationship with them, that's why I'm teaching everyone PDI. I don't have you guys on the PDI line. I'm not scheduling you. You don't have to do outclaim PDI, but everyone will be getting calls and coaching people this summer, right? You just might not be the person that's like we're in charge of like, hey, every demo gets closed out. Like y'all don't have to worry about that as much. You don't have to worry about like, hey, boom, 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 boom. But you do make sure you update the group chat if you're talking to your mini teams and things like that. So we're not like, yeah, exactly. That's important. If you talk to someone, update the group chat, because then if you don't, we're going to outgoing call them, and you just had a 10-minute conversation with them. And now we're calling them and like, hey, like we never heard from your demo. And they're like, what are you talking about? I just like spoke to someone for 10 minutes. And to, by the way, to reps, that just looks like we're really unorganized. They're like getting like 5 calls. They're like, dude, I just fucking like talked to someone. Like, what's going on? Like, so making sure you update it is important. I think that's pretty much all we need to say on PDI. We're going to start off then. If I see the need and opportunity, we're like, yo, we're getting like, we're launching 20, 30 people and like y'all can't even handle it. I'll add someone else to the PDI line. But just so y'all know, I'm not on the PDI line this summer. I wasn't on it at all last summer outside of SC2, which I added myself purely because we launched 30 people and we had all of our reps and teams. And I was like, yo, there's no way y'all can take PDI with like 2 people right now. And our AMs are selling. And like, I'm going to just add myself to it. That was the only reason why though.
Probably got so pissed when I called you for coaching.
Did you call me for coaching? You did? Sometimes the reps call me. I just take it. You know, I'm not gonna like I don't just like ignore people usually, but you know, I just tell them like, yo, call the PDI line.
I either call Eddie and then you and then
All right, cool.
Rob scared me on PDI.
Like, I was like, blocking my life. I was even in the office, like, wait, what? Like, I forgot, like,
Yeah, so you were like, wait, like Andrew's in the office a lot? I'm like, dude, I'm like here like every day. What are you talking about? All right, so we need to move on here though. We're a little bit behind. I'm gonna fly through some schedules and some numbers. Let's be attentive. If you have your planners, okay, write this down in your planners. If you don't have this planner, you're gonna write this down and transfer it over to your planners. I'm gonna walk you all through every single sales week, how much we need to sell, how many people we need to launch from training, so that everyone has an idea of like where we need to be pacing each and every single week of the summertime. Okay, so let me go ahead and open these documents.
we do the month, right?
Okay, what I recommend is here's where and it gets a little bit confusing. So the tab week always ends on Mondays for the most part, outside of a couple like holidays, and we have like an 8-day a week. But in general, it's going to end on Mondays. So specifically, okay, the way I do it, and I have a planner that helps with this, right? So if you end up, I know Danny got this one too, is I have like this section. So I write down the notes for each sales week of what we need there. Otherwise, I would put it down in like somewhere on the monthly, maybe write it down the Monday each week. So the day that the week finishes, like that's what you need to sell for that week on the Monday tab week. Cool. So this is the first week of the summer. Started on Tuesday, ends on the 6th. Cool. And I'm just going to say the numbers out loud so everyone has it. So try to be attentive. I'm only going to say the numbers once, so make sure you get them down. All right. So starting on this week, okay. Bless you.
Thank you.
New business is 15.2K.
For the 6th.
Yep, that ends on the 6th. This is the first week of summer. That's this Monday. 15.2K in new business. 17.6K total business. Bless you. Okay, and we need to launch a minimum of 6 people this week.
We got this.
Oh yeah, we got this. Okay, now realistically, by the way, we need to kind of launch more because this plan assumed that we had like a team going into the summer.
Yeah.
We have nothing right now. So okay, that's why we only need to recruit 6 this week, because that's the thing is like we're not behind in recruiting, we're just really behind in sales right now because like we have $0 in sales going into the summer, so we have to like build up like a little bit faster to get some of those sales up.
This is for this week.
This is for Monday. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So that yeah, exactly. So excuse me, sorry, we needed to launch 6 this past week. We launched 0.
Yeah.
So my bad.
Wait, so the 6th
That's-
we put on these Mondays?
That was like that was for the Thursday, Friday training class during that week. Okay, so we needed to launch 6 this week. We launched 0. My bad. All right, next one. We need to sell. Okay, next Monday, and this is gonna. There's 18 weeks to go through, so we got to go through this a lot faster. Okay, so all right, next Monday is 26.6K in new business. 30.8K in total business. Okay, NBTV is the abbreviations for those to make it easier. And we need to launch 11 next week. 11 launched, 30.8K total business, 26.6K new business. Okay, the third week of the year, which will end, or the third week of the summer, which will end on the 20th, Monday the 20th. Okay, is going to be 31K new business, 36K total business, we need to launch minimum of 9. Okay. The 4th week of the year ends on May the 27th on a Monday. Okay, that is Memorial Day, by the way. And new business, we are selling 28.5K. Total business, we need to sell 33K. Okay, the next week, which starts in May and goes into June, okay, which will go into June 3rd, and that's the 5th week of the year.
What about launching that day? Like 20?
Oh, launch, my bad.
27.
27th, that's the 4th week of May, that's 14. Okay, so we need to launch, by the way. So add on like the launch is probably like 75% of how many need to show up this first day. Right. So all right. The 5th week that starts on the 28th and ends on the 3rd. Okay, the 5th week is 45.6K in new business, 52K in total business. And the launch is 11. Okay. The 6th week starts on the 4th and goes to the 10th. So that week is 61K in new business.
Wait, how much?
61K in new business and 70K in total business. And the recruit launch of that week is for the 6th week is 14. Okay, that'd be that right before the SE1, by the way. The next week starts on the 11th, June 11th, and goes to the June 17th. This is the 7th week of the summer. Okay, new business 54K, total business 63K, and we need to launch 23. First, like, huge launch of the summer there. Okay, after that, it's focused on 20 every single week, by the way. So 3rd week of the year, or sorry, 3rd week in June, my bad. So 8th week of the year starts on the 18th and ends on the 24th. Okay, is 63K in new business and 86K in total business. Okay, and that week we need to launch 21. 9th week of the year starts starts the 25th, and it goes until the 1st, July 1st.
Oh.
You gotta get a summer calendar. I would just put it on the notes pad or something like that.
Should put it in July like last year.
No, it's gonna be different dates.
You're
You're gonna need to get a new planner, by the way. Just put it on notes or somewhere on your paper. Okay, so I just said that I was doing the week of the 9th, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the week of the 9th, it starts on the 25th and ends July 1st. Okay, that week we need to sell 73.1K new business and 85K total business. We need to launch 25 people. The next week, okay, the 10th week of the summer starts on July 2nd and goes to July 8th. So this is the down week before SE2. Okay, this is like momentum week / the week that everyone goes out of town, and we got to avoid as many people going out of town as possible.
Yeah.
All right, that ends on the 10th, or sorry, ends on the 8th. That's the 10th week of the year, and we sell. Well, what did I give you guys for the sales for the 9th week?
73.1 new business.
85K total business.
Yeah.
Okay, that is actually the 10th week. My bad. So that week, sorry, those sales are for the week of the 2nd to the 8th of July.
Mhm.
So sorry, let me clarify here. So July 2nd to July 8th. So it ends on Monday, the 8th of July. 73.1K in new business, and 85K in total business. Also helps if you guys have a pencil. Does anyone need a pencil for this?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, sorry, going backwards, I gave you guys the wrong number for the previous week. So the week that starts on the 25th, June 25th, and ends on July 1st, that 9th week, okay, is 86K in new business and 100K total business. That's our first 100K week.
Woo.
Okay. The week that starts, so on July 9th, the 11th week of the summer, July 9th to July 15th.
Forgot launch for
For which week?
July 2nd.
Okay, sorry. So to clarify, the 9th week of the summer that ends on July 1st, okay, is 25 launched. And the week that starts on the 8th, okay, so that July 4th week, that ends on the July 8th is 14 launched. Okay. Next one is the 15th. So Monday the 15th, that 11th week, we sell 101.5K new business.
101.5K.
101.5K new business and 117.5K in total business. That's on the that ends on the 15th there. 23 launched. The next week, okay, the 12th week out of summer ends on July 22nd.
Can I get a higher baby?
Higher, baby. Okay. New business is 121K. And total business is 140K. And we launched 15 that week. Some of these launch numbers are a little bit off, but that's all right. The 13th week of the summer, so it starts the 23rd, ends on the 29th. Okay, this is the week that it's the last 4 days of SE2. We go to SE2 this week, so it's really like how this is what we sell in like 4 days. New business, 85K. Total business, 98K. And that week, we launched, technically we have a 0 launch that week. So these launches are a little bit off. Let me do this real quickly. I'm going to rearrange this. So 15. Escape. So here, just so you guys have the numbers accurately. So just I'm redoing the launches here real quickly. The week that ends on the 12th week of the summer, that ends on the 22nd. Okay, we need to launch 24 there instead of 15. Okay, sorry. So let me redo this real quickly. The week that ends on the 22nd, we need to launch 24 there instead of 15. The week that ends on the 29th, we launch 0 that week because we have SE2.
Has anyone here, did anyone here go to SE1?
Adrian was there.
Did I go?
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was.
No one else was at SE1?
No.
I wasn't even on SE2.
Wait, you did too.
You weren't?
Yeah, it was our training class.
Remember I went to
It's
get
like
Oh, yeah.
SE1, like
Oh,
SE2.
geez.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
You're like,
Holy shit.
I was in the training class right afterwards.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like Juan Jaramillo,
That's what we did,
Julia, Savannah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
SE1.
All right, hold on. We gotta get back on track. Ready? So the week that ends on the 22nd is 24 launched. The week that ends on the 29th is 0 launched. Okay. Next week, so the week that starts on the 30th, this is the 14th week of summer, starts on the 30th of July and goes until the 14th of August. Sorry, not the 14th of August. The 5th of August. This is the 14th week. So ends on August 5th. That is 69K in new business, 79K in total business. And that week we launched 15. Okay. The week after that, that ends on the 12th, is 43K new business, 50K total business. Okay. And we launch, this is the 15th week? Yeah, 13 that week. Okay, going towards the 19th. On the 19th, we sell 28.5K new business, 33K in total business. We launch 8 that week. Cool. 17th week of summer ends on the 26th. It's like 10K new business, 10K total business. Like that went that fast. And then the week that ends the last week of summer, okay, is the last week of August basically, and it ends on September 2nd. Okay. And that week is 11.4K new business and 13.2K total business. Launches for those 2 weeks are probably like 5.
5 each.
Yeah, I don't even have launches for those weeks built into it, but
Okay.
there will be. Yeah.
For total business,
For which week?
18.
The 13.2K. Okay.
Awesome, right?
Yeah, so a couple quick things in terms of schedule, right? Now go back to the calendar. I'm going to walk you guys through the general schedule. Like now that you have these sales numbers, let me give you a picture of what the summer is going to look like here. Cool. And then we'll take a quick break and we'll dive into the last section for today. All right. So flip open your calendars to May this week. Okay, mission here basically is like, all right, you guys already know what's the deal for this week. We're trying to build up. We need to get, okay, just so you guys know, like this week specifically, right now we have 11 people set up for training. Okay, very, very high quality studs. Like the 10, like probably like 8 out of the 10, 11 are 3 stars. Half of them are PRs or they're like really sharp other recruits. Okay, we need to get, goal is minimum, we're getting 30 set up for this training class. Minimum, we're getting 30 set up. Okay, goal is we're shooting for 40. Okay, that means to get 30 set up, we need to sign another 19. So specifically what that's going to look like is we need to sign like 3 to 4 tomorrow. Okay, I need to personally set up like 6 to 7 steroids for this training class. Okay, that will put us about 10 between my steroids and between Jonathan's interview tomorrow. Okay, and then we need to get another 10. I'm going to do the math right. Yeah, 10 signed up for 10 set up throughout the week. Okay, so at a minimum, we're signing like probably 4 to 5 on Monday. Okay, another like 3 to 4 on Tuesday minimum, and then another 3 to 4 on Wednesday. We can definitely hit that. Now we're trying to shoot for 40. Okay, by the way, realistically, so that's like the minimums. But ideally, as long as we have the Sunday that we are gonna have tomorrow, and we really execute tomorrow, should be looking closer to like 7 to 8 people signed at minimum on Monday, like 5 people signed on Tuesday, and then there are like 4 to 5 people signed on Wednesday, on top of whatever steroids I'm gonna do. Yeah.
You said we need 30 launched or 30?
30 set up for this training minimum.
Okay.
40 is the goal. 40 is what we're shooting for. 30 is like the do or die number. We gotta get to 30 set. We gotta get 19 more people set up for this training, no matter what. Okay, so that's what we're shooting for here, which is definitely doable, and the quality is gonna be stellar. So we are literally gonna go from selling like 5K this week, probably what we'll sell, 5, 6K, okay, to we should have multiple 10K fast starters next week, ideally. So this upcoming week, though, keep in mind, we only gonna have a training class launch. So goal, right, is to get out, the number that we need to get out for this week is how many? 11. 11 is the minimum we need to get out. Okay, but yeah, 11 is the minimum we need to get out. Okay, but we should be shooting for 15 to get out. So if we get 30 launched, like the goal is to get 15 people launched from training this next week. Okay, minimum we're getting like 11 people launched from training this week. To get 15 people launched, we need 40 people set up. Okay, that means about 40 people set up, 20 people show up and I launch 15, or like 18 show up and I launch 15. Our shows are a little bit low right now in training. With that said, though, we launch those people, we get them out the door. Each of them averaging, we have a couple people pop off, right? So we need to sell how much this week?
This
This week we need to sell 30.8K. I don't think we're going to do that. To be honest, we could if this training class really pops off, right? However, the next week we should definitely be selling over 30 grand the following week.
Mhm.
But we've got to execute. We're already getting, you guys can already see how we're starting to get behind in terms of like where we're pacing here. So as long as we get the launch this week, okay. So again, we should be, I'm expecting about 5 grand in sales from our assistant managers this upcoming week. Okay, between all of our people contributing. That's less than everyone's weekly numbers, by the way. Everyone's weekly numbers add up to, I believe, 10K on a week. Or let me see real quickly. It's 1,500, 1K, that's 3K,
Max was showing
4K.
it.
and that's 6K. Yeah, his show's been good. His show's been good. 6K. Yeah, so I think it's 10K total. Okay, so that means that every AM, so they're hitting the numbers every week, we should be selling 10K base. Okay, that means, like, just so you all know, if we ever have a week where we sell less than 5 grand this summer as an assistant manager team, that is a huge red flag. That means like over half our people like didn't that means over half the group didn't get to where they were supposed to. And that's one thing that I'll always say, by the way, is like, okay, I think a lot of times I see people and like sales reps do this, like, you know, and like you have a goal in the summer, people like have a goal and like they realize they're just not gonna hit, they just kind of like stop trying. Or like when you realize, like, it's kind of like sometimes like you realize you're not gonna get an assignment in for school, you're just like, well, fuck it at this point. You know what I mean? Like you just like, you don't like, if you realize you're gonna fail a test, you just stop setting that up like completely. That's not how you can treat this summer, guys. Like if you realize you're not gonna hit the goal, I don't care. You need to do like everything you can to get as damn close to it as possible. Because if you just give up halfway, like now everyone else again has to take on what you were supposed to do last week and like bring and like do something extra to make up for like the slack. So it's not about just hitting the number. It's about like how much slack are you leaving on the table is really the secret of the problem. So like that's what I'm saying. If you got like 14 PR set up one week, it's not like the end of the freaking world. You know what I mean? Like it's like 1 PR a week. We can make up for that the next week. When you like you're like, oh, I'm not even sure I'm gonna hit my number this week. And I like, you know, you're on Wednesday, like, oh, I'm probably not gonna hit this, and you stop at like, you know, 6 for the week. Like that's when you're like shooting everyone else in the foot now because we're 10 behind extra. So same thing with the sales numbers. Walking you all through the scales this week, so we know what's going on for this week. Looking at the calendar one more time as we finish up, and we'll take a break here. Okay, May. You know, biggest thing is we're building up to 10 people launched. Can we get out 10 people out the door this week? And then after that, it's like, how fast can we build up to 15 people launch? We want to be launching an average, like, so that next week after that, we want to be launching about 15 per week. Once we get to June, okay, guys, June is the week where we're like getting 20 launched every week of the summer, right? Every week of June. It's like, can we get 20 out the door every single week of June? 20 plus, 20 plus, 20 plus, 20 plus. So what we're doing right now is we're building how fast can we build up to a 20-person training class. By the way, when I talk about us having momentum during the summertime and us like having like when we can do this stuff where it's just like, hey, you got your numbers, let's get ready to roll. That's when we're at 20 plus people. And when we're launching 20 out of the training, we got momentum. Like the summer is building and we're rolling. Like we have to lose momentum. We have to do something to like not maintain that in order for us to start falling back and go the opposite direction. And momentum is a killer for the summer times. Like that's why like we sometimes started slow, but we always get off to a big race because as soon as you catch that momentum, it's the same analogy I've given a million talks. It's like pushing the boulder, right? Like the boulder is really hard and requires an extraordinary amount of efforts, requires long hours, long nights, and some damn hard work to actually get that boulder pushed and rolling. But once you get that thing rolling, like it gets kind of hard to even stop it. Like as long as we're just kind of like pushing a little bit behind it, like that thing keeps going and plows through like everything in its sight. So that's what we have to do. But to get there, we have to really get this thing pushing hard in the month of May. And so, yeah, so that's what we're doing in May. In June, okay, it gets more into like we have SE1, so it's leading there. It scares the shit out of me every time. In July, okay, if you guys notice, our first 100K week, here's the biggest things that we need to circumnavigate, okay? SE1 is right when we start popping off. That's when our recruiting starts popping off and our sales initially pop off for the summer. That's the first time we'll start having really big sales weeks, like 60K, 70K, 80K, which is, again, normal for our office, but like across the company, like no one else will probably be doing that during those times. So like our number 2 in our category will probably be doing like 30K those weeks. So I don't want to underestimate too how like big of a deal it is to push out 60, 70K those weeks. It takes a lot of effort. Once we get there, though, it's building. Can we maintain the team in June? After SE1, okay, it's all about getting people fired up and rallied up for SE2. So making sure people are engaged, ready to roll, and get people as soon as SE1's even over, everyone's talking like we're getting people, we're building the alliance for SE2. It's like how badass of a team, how committed of a team can we have going into that SE2 push during the summertime. And then once SE2 comes around, it's just like unleashing the dogs. It's like getting ready to rock and roll out. The biggest thing, okay, that I think could be a really big challenge for us this summer is that week before SE2. Okay, that week is always a challenge every single year. It's a challenge with recruiting. It's a challenge with SE2 setup, and it's even a bigger challenge this year because it's just July 4th week, and that just throws off a lot of things. The reason it's a really big challenge this year is because July 4th is on that Thursday, which means boom, that training class is like I'm gonna run I think I'm running a Friday, Saturday training class or something like that. I don't know. I need to figure out what we're doing there. I need to ask Jeff. But that is already, it's going to affect the training class show, so it's harder to get out a good training class, so that affects our launch. It also is like a bad, because you all know this because you've done this before, but that week, what people do during that week either makes or breaks people's pushes, always. Okay, like we call it momentum week for a reason, and most people are about to go out and work really hard for 2 weeks, so everyone's mentality is like, let me do nothing for the week so I can take a break off before I work really, really hard. But every person that does that always has a shitty push, every single time, with like out of doubt. The people that go out of town almost always have really awful pushes right beforehand. They come back into town, they're not ready to roll. There aren't any of the prep sessions. So it's really like what can we do to navigate that week? Just knowing that stuff's going to happen and thinking and planning about it ahead of time. Having conversations with reps about before they go out of town, make travel plans, like maybe doing it the weekend before 4th of July versus like 4th of July weekend, because that's like Friday, Saturday morning phone jams for people that are having 20K push goals, or all day Sunday phone jam for that. You know, like just think about an SE2 push where the first Sunday phone jam, half of our reps are out of town. It'd be a pretty like imagine selling 120K that week and like half the reps weren't there on Sunday. It's like going to be pretty difficult. So we really have to just be able to navigate around that. That's going to be like, I think, one of the biggest challenges that we can run into this summer. But I don't think it's not the end of the world. Like it's not like a make or break. We just got to get people in the right mentality before then. And I think sharing y'all's personal experiences, because some of you all were on one end of the spectrum where you're like, you did it the right way last summer. And so we all like had the opposite end of the spectrum happen to you, where you were like one of those reps and you're like, I didn't really get the results I wanted to last summer. So sharing that with other people, I think can really, really help as we kind of navigate into the push. SE2 push is all about going all out. I think the biggest thing that's going to change our push this year is really, I think, number one, like I know that I've spent a lot of time in personal growth for the past year. So like the things that I'm going to bring to the table for like our alliance this summer are going to be like next level compared to what we had last summer. I think it's also like I'm coaching right now. Like my coach that for with Abundant just switched. I'm being coached by Ben Skemper, which is it's going to be really good for us, I think, this summer, because he was the person that he ran the biggest summer, I think, in Cutco history, which was they did like over $1 million in the summertime, and like over $1 million in new business, by the way. I think it's the only time it's ever been done. They did like 1.3 or something like that. Crazy. Now it's different because it was in 2009. They recruited like 300 kids for the summer, and like there was a shit ton. But like they had one of the most powerful alliances, and he was doing like a lot of stuff. So I think it's gonna require me to have next level leadership. It's gonna require you to have a next level leadership and stepping up, and it's gonna require our sales rep this summer to like that are on the alliance to have a next level of commitment. You know, like last summer, the biggest thing is we had the most badass SE2 team in the entire company, period. And we had 3 10K pushers. Okay. Previous summer, I had 10 10K pushers. The summer before that, I had 8 10K pushers with a half a small alliance. So our alliance was twice the size, and we had less people perform than ever before. And that was just because a couple different things. Number one, people were way less committed than they said they were. So there's a whole lot of commitment. There's also a lot of just like shit going on in the background, and like people like negging other people out. That was just like killing, like it was like a virus going through the whole entire office in the background. That also killed our entire push. And the other thing was traveling right beforehand, and people like leaving and going out of town right beforehand, and then coming back and not being as committed and stuff like that too. So those are the problems that we're gonna encounter. The solution is us becoming, us leveling up our leadership, us like, I'm going to be more selective with the people I take on the alliance this summer. Goal is we'll get as many people in the mornings as we can. But our alliance, I'm having a key, like I'm interviewing 20 people. We're going to hand select the best people, and I'm not taking people onto the alliance. Like last year was just like Okay, if they're excited about it, boom, let's get them on the alliance. Let's get them on a team. We want as many people here as possible. I don't want that this summer. If they want to come, they'll sit in the back, they'll watch, but like we're gonna have a squad of people that are actually like, just imagine the group chat when you have a mini team of like 4 or 5 people that are all like going at it 100% all day. It's gonna be so much more motivating. It's gonna be so much more challenging versus like 1 or 2 people stepping up and everyone just like shitting the bed every single day and just like being like here and like lying about their appointments and not actually wanting to be here but being here for some reason and like I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I think, and that's gonna be how we have 120K weeks, 140K weeks. It's gonna look like a lot of people in this group having 5, 6, 7, 8K plus weeks, like big weeks for your pushes during the summertime, and also all the other reps next to you like leading the way. I think that's the other game changer is the fact that y'all have more time to sell than ever before. Our AMs didn't lead the way last summer during SE2. They didn't lead the way last summer like during a lot of our like during the other areas too. And part of that was by design because they didn't have as much schedule. But now you guys have the opportunity to. So when y'all are pushing up and raising the standard, every single person in your teams is going to be trying to beat you. You're like, they're all going to be seeing what you're doing. So there's going to be like, that's the thing is like, I know we have at least like, think about the culture that would have been different last summer. We had 3 people do 10K plus pushes, Amy, Julia, and Adrian, right? So 13K, 40K, and Julia did 26K. But imagine, let's say there's 20 people in the Alliance, right? That was 3 of you all, and there were 17 other people who eated it, okay? So imagine if you all, imagine if that was the standard though, right? And there was, we have a minimum now of 8 people doing that, okay? A minimum of 8 people that are leading the way, right? Plus, let's say even if we only have like 4 or 5 other reps that are really, really ready to go. Now that's 13 people out of a 20-person alliance. That will force the standard for everyone else to raise up. Like imagine the culture that would have been that too. Again, it's just like that is the it's like making that is the cool thing to do versus the cool thing to do is to be like, I'm just gonna show up every morning and like not do anything. I think we can set that culture this summer, and that's how we have like that's where we're gonna have like these obnoxiously crazy weeks that like everyone else in the company is gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Like, what drugs are they taking over in like Metro Miami? Then after that, okay, July finishes SE2. Here's what happens always after SE2 is the burnout. Everyone's exhausted. Everyone's tired. Everyone just worked their butts off. Okay, the last thing that anyone wants to do is sell. So having conversations during SE2 and always giving people longer-term vision. The number one thing, by the way, that makes people sell in August usually is being tied into TLA. Okay, because if you don't really care about anything, you don't care about advancement, you don't really care like. You're already thinking about school. You're like checked out after SE2. You're like, well, I could sell, but I already made so much money this summer. And like, why do I really care? And that's what usually happens. When people are excited about advancing, when people are excited about getting into TLA, more people are stepping up. People are still leading throughout August. People don't need to lead out through all the way of August. Okay, all the way. We do want to focus on, by the way, getting some local people in here in Miami. Okay, for people that are going to be here in the fall. You all know how last fall was. Okay, we need some not local students and also some butt kickers of people that aren't in school. And that's, by the way, Danny, too, why when we have some people come into this office, some of them aren't that great, but like we need some people on our staff next summer and on our staff this fall that are not students. Okay, we need people that are not enrolled in school if we want to have like a successful year-round business, because everyone knows if you've been on staff in the fall.
Hire more people that don't go to school.
I'm not saying hire shitty people that don't go to school, but I'm saying there are people out there, you're like, you weren't in school this past class semester. Ruben Penaranda is an example of that. Like if we had more people on our team that are like sharp people that just happen to not be taking classes in the fall and spring, like things like that, or they just graduated or like school's not for them. Like we got to create some of those leaders in here too. So it's having those people finish us off like and keep going. Like they don't have to stop. Like school's not starting for them in the fall. They finish off August strong. Everyone else on our team, it's just finishing off those last 2 weeks of like the first 2 weeks of August. So from there until COC, you guys will notice right after COC happens, our sales drop to like 10K a week. Okay. But maintaining that 40K a week, that's actually, even if we have 100 reps on the team, I'm telling you, it's more challenging than you think. Now we're going to have like the mini VIP night again, like, which I think helped a lot last year. And like having those little tiny small contests, but it's just making sure everyone's stepping up and leading the way for like finishing off for the year there. Questions on any schedule stuff? Everyone has all the dates for SE2, SE1, all like the calendar dates, things like that. Okay. Divisional meetings, you got that, all that stuff in your calendars? Cool.
Wait, can you give me that? So sorry.
Yeah, just for time-wise purposes, let me give it to you afterwards. It's the way too. There'll also be some parents meetings. We'll go over all that stuff, make sure everyone has that. I have to really use the restroom. So let's take a quick 5-10 minute stretch break. Okay, we're going to dive into the last part of the exercise for the day. We're going to go over culture, expectations, things like that. Department heads, and then we'll take a lunch break here, and go and grab some. Take a lunch break, and then we're gonna make this office look baller. Cool. All right. I feel that, Danny. Jonathan, we're gonna take a quick break here. Probably be ready to roll in like 10 minutes. Wow. All right. New videos up and live. Yeah.
So muted.
Is there food? Want to order Uber Eats?
No.
We got like.
There's like a lady standing at the door, like talking on the phone, like staring inside. I was like, that's weird. Just closed the door. I was like, all right. So diving back into it, we're a little bit far behind. By a little bit far behind, I mean like we're really behind, but it's okay because we allowed some time. We just have to go faster on cleanup in terms of that. But I know probably some people are getting hungry, so I do want us to get to lunch here, and I'd ideally like to just finish this information before lunch. That way we can just execute here. All right, real quickly. Actually, if we want, let's do this. What does everyone want for lunch? Do you guys want pizza, sandwiches?
Not down for pizza.
Huh?
Not really down. I mean, since you guys don't eat whatever.
Yeah, I don't really like pizza either, but that's what usually people order. What I'm saying, we could order food now. That way, like we have at least like an hour left of this last session. That way, like people aren't waiting. Well, we don't have to go out and get it. Because after that, we're just gonna go run errands. So, yeah, it's on me. So, be easier if we just order something now. Does anyone know what they want? Should I just get like maybe wings or something like that for the office? Just order from Uber Eats real quick.
Wings are good.
Huh?
I said wings are good.
Did you complain yesterday?
Oh no, I need to do that.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never do that.
No, like ridiculous. Because they forgot an entire sandwich. Then
Should I order from Hooters right now? By the way,
Hooters?
Hooters wings.
that was gas.
Hooters wings. Is that what we want?
I don't know. The sandwich had maybe I was just really hungry, but
It was pretty good.
Do we have a lot of errands to run? Like,
We'll probably all go for like 30 minutes, something like that. But we all have I have like a whole list of stuff we need to get. So I'll probably extend like one person's going to Michael's, like 2 people are going to Walmart. Probably like
I
Yeah.
don't want to drive. So
we'll go grab stuff and get it all set up. We've already done a lot of the legwork, so we already need to set up most of the stuff. But all right, you want boneless or regular? We'll get both. Is everyone cool with wings, or should I order other random stuff? I'll order like some appetizer or something like that too.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is
go
usually-
yeah.
Sometimes like I'll order other appetizers too.
All right, 20.
Have you guys ever had traditional wings from Hooters?
Do you guys have a
Kind of
No.
Buffalo wings.
what flavors are good? But what flavor do we want for the boneless?
Mild buffalo. Gas. Wait, what do you want? You don't like spicy?
Yeah, no spicy.
I mean, nah. I mean, a lot of
Or
people
like,
I like
buffalo.
you guys like
I'd
spicy?
say we'll do like
Okay, I don't like spicy.
honestly.
Amy doesn't like spicy.
we'll do like 40%.
I'm just gonna get a bunch of different flavors because I'm gonna order
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
how many wings do we need? 40 wings? 50 wings?
Damn.
How hungry is everyone?
I'm not. Like I'm full.
Do like 50.
Yeah, really? Oh yeah, I'll just ate some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna eat
I think I
Oh,
can eat.
fuck
I
you.
can eat.
Yeah, I can eat
We're
too,
all
dude.
gonna fucking eat.
Alright,
Like,
I
it's
think
a
just
lot.
flavors in general. I'm gonna order a mix of like boneless, some with whatever, and then we'll get probably like 4 flavors. So I'm thinking, you guys want one that's someone who likes hot? Who like hot?
Can
I
we
mean,
do
mild
barbecue?
buffalo.
I was gonna order like a barbecue, a honey chipotle, a lemon pepper, and a like what else do you guys want?
Mild buffalo. That's a fact.
All right, cool.
Yeah, those are good.
I love barbecue.
Mild buffalo, we want boneless.
Yeah,
You want the boneless ones?
Honestly, I don't know if you guys like traditional, but the ones from Hooters aren't that good. Like the best that they have is boneless. I don't know if you guys want traditional. Huh?
That's true. It's just
Traditional is just-
I'm gonna order 20 boneless and 20 traditional.
Okay.
Traditional are like normal wings. The
Oh,
boneless are
yeah,
like
the
no
bone.
wings. Homemade.
With a bone.
What?
Okay, then I'll order.
Yo, Danny, how did you end up at Rockwell?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know
You and
how to
Jay
have
just
dinner.
randomly like
Right?
that's friends. Like you guys actually.
I actually really like her. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that was
like-
actually so weird.
She
I was like,
got no. I
pulling
mean, she
over.
started like she
Yeah.
randomly. Okay,
It's
relax.
like a photo shoot in the bathroom.
Literally.
We're gonna stop sending me fucking stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember that part, but I don't know. She like randomly texted me the other day and like she's super chill and like I
Yeah,
don't
she's
know.
cool as fuck. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
she's
talk to her
super
once last
fucking
summer, but
cool.
she's cool.
And she was like, "Come over, like sleep over, we'll go out, like whatever." And I was like, "Okay." So she's like really dry for me.
Yeah, she was super dry.
She is
Dry.
too, but like
She
if
is
you like
super dry
chill with
too,
her,
it's
like
chill
she's
with her.
cool,
Yeah,
like she's like
I
cool chill, and then she's also
before they don't go out.
yeah, she's fun. She's yeah.
You like whispered that she's fucking crazy to Naomi, but we all heard it. You're terrible at whispering.
Okay, shut up, you know this.
Yo, I gotta stop this broadcast, man. This is all on
Oh my god.
this is all on the divisional chat, dude. This is on the divisional on Jeff's YouTube.
Are you serious?
Yes. How do I end this call, man?
Oh my god, wait.
Like, you have to?
I can edit it.
Broadcast.